Hi, it's Hazel. Welcome to my channel. This is day 84 of the 100-day project, and this video will be one of those kill two birds with one stone, attempt to be very efficient, and so on. I placed my second order to Temu and received it maybe a week or so ago. And with my first order, I did sort of an unboxing. But prior to that, I tried out the dies and the stamps, just so anyone watching the video would have a good idea as to whether or not these things actually worked as promised. So, I don't know, is there a support group for people who have too many stamps? I need to look into that. So what I've got today are some, excuse me, some new stamps to try out. I've assembled what I think is a pretty good cross-section of papers to try things out on. Because again, if you're a beginner, you may you may not have tried all of these things. You may not have heard of all of these things. And it's kind of important to I think I would have appreciated getting some of this information in a dedicated video as opposed to picking up a tidbit in one video and another piece of advice in another video and so on. So, excuse me, that's not to say that I have all the answers or am a genius at this, because that's not true. This is sort of a back to basics kind of thing, though. So what I'm going to be using for the most part is Ranger's Archival ink. I have it in a variety of colors. Now, well, I'll touch on ink in a moment. I am using this large calendar page or planner page to catch any, additional, like if I go off the edge of my surface, which is sort of one of the techniques that you typically want to do. I have a variety of these acrylic blocks and many more. So hopefully once I open a package of stamps, I can lay several of them out and kind of get that all done. I also have one of these, and this is, I don't know, obviously a thrifted thing. One of those, I don't know, are they called fun foam? Underneath my paper, just because apparently having a kind of a cushy surface underneath. I've had people tell me that a mouse pad would also work. I did think I have a piece of sort of spongy packaging, but I'll be darned if I know where it is right this moment. Okay, so there's that. Now, the other thing I wanted to say about ink is that a long time ago, and again, I'll just clarify that I never was part of the whole scrapbooking. I never got on that bandwagon. I might have made a couple of cards in my day, but that's about it. So at some point, I bought this ombre ink pad, and I'm talking, this has to be, conservatively, this has to be 25 years old. Believe it or not, it still has some juice. Now, of course, it's gotten dirty over time, but I love the concept so much. So one of the things I did when I was on the Temu site was look for sort of a similar thing. Now, these pads, you can see, are clearly smaller in size, but I thought, and don't think I wrote the price on any of them. I don't think I'm going to be talking prices at all today, simply because, of course, it depends, what sort of currency a person is paying with. So sometimes when I see Temu unboxing videos, they are, you know, the prices seem unbelievable. And then, of course, I then see the Canadian price, and it is, believe it or not, just as an aside here, they call this gray. This other one was obviously called pink. Now, another thing I don't know, now on this, yeah, these came from the same place. Okay, so there's a teeny tiny number here that's the same on these two, and then a larger number that is different. So I don't know if those are stock numbers. To be honest, I think that one of the disadvantages of ordering from Temu is the fact that it is so hard to track things. Now, I do have I did print my invoice, and that was multiple pages long. And they've got a picture, which is great, but honestly, would it kill them to put an identifiable stock number so that I could say, okay, this is blah, blah, blah. You could make a note of it, and so it goes. So I want to try these out. So let's just begin. Now we know, or hopefully we know, that we can stamp as a base layer to create sort of a background, or we can stamp as a top layer, as a final, you know, kind of embellishment type thing, like maybe stamp a focal point on there. So I just have these 3 tags, and this is all random. None of this is pre-planned because, of course, as it took me half an hour to clean my desk surface. Now, I did, to save time and rustling, I did take these stamps out of their bags. So I guess I can give you this number, and if you think you're interested in it, well, okay, and I won't bother with prices. So this one is a scripty one. It's got the word Paris, a feather, and, well, sort of handwriting. I don't know if that's French or not. And then, anyway, they're text stamps. So this is 8-2, or I'll just hold it up like this and you can. So let's just begin. Now, sometimes people just want a script stamp or want a cling stamp like this and just use it so that they can just catch part of the you know, they don't want it to be like the whole thing. I'm not saying that very well. Let me show you. Okay, so I'm using jet black here. And, you know, how well this is going to work on a first use is, I guess, remains to be seen. So what I mean by not attaching it to the block is it gives you the opportunity to do a more patchy effect, like so. Now that has a very square corner there where I did it, but okay, so this one works just fine. I'm going to put it back down. Maybe let's try the feather. I have many acrylic blocks, and I think I paid retail for one of them. So I don't know if it's possible for acrylic blocks to go bad, get ruined, whatever. But I suspect that I have some of those bought secondhand. So, okay, this, and of course it's not complete, but we don't have 3 days to do this, so we're just going to proceed. So I said that it could also be a focal point. So this is some grungy eco-dyed paper, graph paper, or ledger paper that I obviously had attached to something with a little bit of something inside. So let's pretend that is that going to fit? Yeah, let's pretend that I wanted this feather as a focal point. And let me just show you how, whoops, I should have something here to wipe the sloppy dampening. Oh, brother. Sorry about the noise, guys. I can't extricate this. I'm trying to get a wipe, in case you're wondering. Okay, I'm going to, and I mean, is that not unbelievably juicy? Okay. So I've inked this up, sort of gotten rid of the sloppiness, and I'm going to lay this down. Beautiful. Oh my goodness. But do you see why I love this so much? Looks good on there too. I don't know if these things still exist, but I'm telling you, I'd buy that all over again. Okay, so there's that sort of a technique. So let's go on to, okay, I'm trying to walk and chew gum here. So this is, I guess, a gel print that I was, it's a scrap, so it would be like collage fodder. So maybe while we're at it, let's try one of these bigger ones and let's put it. See, this is one of those blocks that I don't know about. I think I also heard at one point that you're supposed to put the stamp down, face down, and then lay the block on top of it so that you don't accidentally stretch and distort it. This is a beautiful color. This is Night Sky, which might look very nice on. Now, again, is this the best technique? I don't know. This is quite often what I do, just to make sure that I get good coverage. But again, it depends on what your ultimate goal is. If you want it, perfectly whatever, then you probably want to do it that way. If you want it to be more patchy, random, look sort of shabby and vintage and all of that, then you wouldn't care if you didn't ink it up evenly and thoroughly. I don't know, to be honest, what the magic amount of time is for holding a stamp. Oh my goodness, I love that. So let's see. So when you do it a second time, without re-inking in between, that's a ghost print. So let's see if we have enough left on this. Not really, but that's okay. So I like that. And we will move on to the next stamp. Now I did, okay, this is the bag from this one. There's the number. Okay, we'll set that aside. Another thing that I think quite often, especially those of us that bought a fair bit of scrap paper because it was on sale or we thought we needed to own every piece that had ever been printed. Scrapbooking paper is not created equal. Like, I'm sure this came from a dollar store pad. These are one-sided. They're not quite often the most beautiful thing in the world. Now, this one has potential because it would be good as a layering one. So maybe I'll put that one aside. But let's say we weren't that happy with what we have here. So let's just, for the heck of it, let's try this gray one. But what would we want to put on there? Now am I going to mix all these bags up? Okay, this should still be intact. So this, I did write the price on this one. This is the tag or the number for this one. And of course, we've all seen a lot of these type around, or this where you can make combos. So let's, again, I like this because it has the handle. So let's just pick number, whoops, you need to be over here. And let's say number 5. 5.9. Just for the heck of it. Okay, so we're going to crack this thing open. Oh, and you can't do too much moving around. Now, see, that looks really juicy as well. Let's see what we get. And maybe I'm paranoid, but I really do try to cover the ink pads up in between use. Well, that looks pretty cool. Let's try over here with make a ghost print. See if there's enough oomph to. That's not bad. Now, of course, this lightest color almost matches the paper. So now that, like I said, that looks really juicy. So let's do a few more on here just to. So maybe I should wipe this off just so that I don't kind of contaminate these colors. I'm going to move over a little bit more so I get less of the cream. And of course, another way to add interest to any paper is to change direction off your the stamping, have it bleed off the edge of the page. Well, that's nice. And again, it just adds. It looks more complex because it's got it. It appears that you did something special. Okay, I think that's good. So I'll just quickly put this back. And obviously I cannot, I'm not going to try more than probably 1 or 2 stamps off each one. Oh, okay, I'll put that to the side. Okay, so that was scrapbooking paper. Do we want to try something on there? We do have several. No, I won't. Okay, so every so often, well, I bid on a lot of of paper from the Alberta government surplus. So it was an auction type scenario. And I think I got 2 banker's boxes full of colored paper. So of course it takes some effort to use it up. Now I've picked sepia here. So let's find something that. So I thought, well, let's try colored paper because, you know, oh, darn it. Okay, yeah. This is the number for this one. And it's just a bunch of tape measures. And again, in this case, I paid $1.94. So you really can't, you can't even buy coffee for that price. And that's my justification, and feel free to use it if you wish. Now this is a huge acrylic block, and it sort of has these indentations on the side, I guess, for good grip. So let's smack this baby down, ink it up, and see how this looks on this kind of almost neon yellow paper. And again, I'm not saying that this is the greatest combination. It's just I wanted to sort of give you some options. And I think I'll bleed this off the edge of the page. And of course, this kind of stuff can be collage fodder. It could be that a person is working on a particular thing that, see, I don't know if you can see, but I can kind of see where maybe the stamp didn't make great contact with the block. They appear to be a bunch of air bubbles, so we'll see. Yeah, see, not great contact there. Let us maybe try a darker just to see if it was... Oh, let's lift this up and lay it down again and see if we can get rid of those bubbles. So now I'm using jet black. And of course, that could be another technique. A person could use the same stamp over and over again, just with different colors. So let's pretend that was our plan. And maybe this time we'll have it go like so. One 1,000, two 1,000. Okay, so these thicker areas, of course, are part of the design and exactly what you would expect it to be. So I would say that that one's fine too. It, you know, it covers a large area, and it, you know, it's probably another one of those things where it will improve with use. Because, you know, again, that's a bit of a challenge here with what we're doing in that it, oh, I'm putting the used ones over here. In that it, you know, you're kind of breaking it in. Now, this is a piece of vellum, and I find, because vellum is a little tricky to work with on, because gluing it down. So I guess you can't really see where the page ends, but let's try, okay, maybe this one. Now, I was drawn to this one because of Da Vinci's, what is he called? Universal Man or something like that. And then that would be a self-portrait, no doubt. And just these little, couple miscellaneous ones here. This is the stock number. Hopefully. Hope I'm not sending on a wild goose chase. Okay. So, let us try this man. Now on larger blocks, let's try what was recommended. Lay it face down and then pick it up that way. Oh, not very centered. Let's do that again. Okay, and to maximize my effort, maybe I will do this. I'll add this fleur-de-lis one and whatever this other little thing is. And that way, it would be nice if they were all on the same side. Or do we want to put it really close and make it look as though this was sort of, again, you know, probably overthinking this. What the heck is this anyway? I don't know. Maybe we'll see once it actually takes some color. Should we? That might be. We'll try these other ombre ones soon, but okay, let's try mulberry. Okay, so we're doing this on vellum. I almost forgot what the plan was. Because it disappeared out of sight. I'll do it sideways so I can apply better pressure. Another thing to keep in mind, if you're doing some of this stamping with the intention of, you know, fussy tearing around it, think about that when you're doing your positioning. Now, this would be too close for that purpose. Lovely. Let's see what we get as a ghost print. And like every other thing that happens in the craft room, for maximum efficiency, and I don't know, is it sacrilegious to talk about creativity and efficiency in the same sentence? Okay, not as good here, but again, that could be collage fodder. Anyway, what I was trying to say is, if, like for this video, if I have, I could have tried to get more of it off on here. I could have tried, I mean, I had to do a lot of gathering of stuff to be ready to do this. So my acrylic blocks, the stamps I wanted to use, the stamp pad, the ink pads I wanted to use, the papers, the substrates I wanted to stamp on. So that's a lot of, you know, running around and gathering of things. So if I'm going to go through all that, it sort of makes sense to make it worth the effort. And that's why no one, or at least I don't think, that the average person is ever going to think, oh, I need a stamp of the Da Vinci Man. I'm going to look through my stamps and find it. I'm going to then head over to where I've got my ink, and I'm going to, let's try this one too. I'm going to, I'm just going to do this one little card. Like, That would not be smart. Well, forgive me for saying that, but that's just not, I mean, maybe it has to happen occasionally, but that would not be a good use of your time. Plus, I think it also stifles creativity in that if you need to break momentum every time you need to rush around and collect something new to do a project, I don't think that promotes creativity. So what I'm saying is mass make, do a bunch of these, and I don't even know which ways. Oh yeah, there's his face. Better not get too close in case I do want to tear around this. Now this, I should have shown you, is a shadow gray. Well, what is the problem here, people? Let's try this again. Okay, I can see there's more ink on there now. Like, I don't have a re-inker for this. Now, maybe because the design is so intricate, maybe I didn't do a very good job the first time of getting it inked properly. One of the things that, again, because I didn't go the scrapbooking, card making route, one of the things that I sometimes see people using are those stamp mounting, I don't know, systems, whatever. And I know that one time I saw that at a thrift store, and I picked it up and I handled it, and that is pathetic. Now I owe it to this experiment to try this again with a better color, perhaps. So we're going to try fern green. I picked it up, I looked at the price, I wondered, do I have a place to store this? Would I actually use it? Does it matter? Am I doing, am I splitting the atom? Am I doing such precise work? Now see this, I don't know. That could still be used. That could still be collage fodder. That could be a background texture. And long story short, I didn't buy it. Now, was that a mistake? I don't know. It's sort of like in your kitchen. Eventually, you run out of room for the next greatest thing. Like I have in my, the whole kitchen has drawers for the lower cabinets, which is really more efficient than shelves. But they can only be so deep. So when I got an air fryer, because of course that was the rage that one year, that is still not very good, people. Okay, we're going to set aside this vellum, and I should put it someplace else to dry. I'm going to re-ink. I'm determined to make something out of this, and we'll try it on a different. Okay, let's go back to this paper. Yeah. We know that Night Sky worked well. We know that it will look good on this paper. And if it doesn't work this time, then I'd have to say this particular part of the set is a dud. Okay, fingers crossed, people. People. Oh, I was talking about kitchen appliances. So, yes, the air fryer is probably good. I don't use it as much as I should have. Surprise. because we all think we need these things and then don't use them. Anyway, it's kind of a monstrosity that doesn't fit into any of the drawers, so it sits on the counter. Well, if you add all your other things that you don't have room for elsewhere, like when you think about it, you know, a coffee maker and a wok and an electric skillet and maybe a juicer or what do you call it? Just what do you call those things? I want to. Well, no, but I don't think anyone has a mix master anymore. Ah, finally. Yes. Good. Thank goodness. And how many attempts did that take? Gray. Where did I put that? Gray, green, and blue. You know, a toaster, a can opener. And thank goodness a lot of those things fit in drawers. But so if I would have had that stamp mounting thing, you know, again, where do you put it? And if you put it someplace where it's out of sight and not taking up precious real estate, do you actually remember to use it when the time... You actually remember to use it, period. Okay. Let's speed things along here. What you're going to find... I have something dry to wipe this one. What you're going to see, and this is almost embarrassing, is that I was so excited to see a whole bunch of book stamps that I went a little nuts. Like, you don't need 65 stamps. Okay, this is going to be my next thing. This is onion skin typing paper. Now, I've kind of been hoarding this because, of course, you don't see it every day. So we're going to take one precious sheet. I'm running out of places to stash things. Okay. Anyway, you'll see. I've got... Let's try this tea. No, let's... Sorry about that. Let's do this bird one instead. Okay, so this one cost $4.28 Canadian. There is the number. And let's hope these guys are good looking. I guess it doesn't matter which one I try. Maybe we should, I don't know, would there be bluebird? Well, does it matter? Let's just try this pink. Nope, I won't do that because this stamp is kind of too big for, let's do Paradise Teal. Okay, so remember we're on onion skin paper. So I would consider this, taking a Kleenex out of my pocket, that's what I'm wiping this up with. Again, this would more than likely, or let's pretend that this was going to be a signature page. So let's just put this down in the corner. Now, if I was a more experienced stamper, I would have probably spent a little time making sure that this was on this stamp correctly with this little, with those grid lines. That's not good. Now, does it look like that? Does it look a little blurry because of the paper? Am I going to try? Let's try to restamp this. I think that's considered a no-no. But I'm trying to get the middle of that bird. Anyway, I hope you are doing well. It is, we're in the middle of a heat wave here. The meteorologist on the news last night sort of did a recap of some of the weather stats. Okay, that's better. But again, so if we were turning this into a signature page, yeah, that would look cool. I'm going to set that aside. But just for the heck of it, let's try this just on normal paper and see if it will be slightly sharper in image. Anyway, what the guy said is in the past 41 days, we have been at the average temperature one day. Let me find a clean spot to do this on. We've been below average one day, average temperature for this time period. We have been at average, I think he said through 2 or 3 days, and the rest have all been above average. That is scary stuff. We've had, to yesterday, we have had 3 days. Oh, look how nice that looks. That is a gorgeous color, Paradise Teal. So actually, after the fact, if I don't, stamp over this, I can tear around this as well too, and that will look gorgeous. I won't bother doing the other birds. So above 30, typically in this time, in the whole season last year, we were above 30 4 days. This year, we've been above 30 3 days already, and it's not even technically summer yet. Summer doesn't, officially begin until June 21st. Okay, let's keep going here. I hope that's dryish. Okay, this is a dictionary page, so book page is another substrate that you can use. And we'll do something small. Let's do a teacup. So this is the number for this. Oops. And if you stand on your head, you can read it. $1.77. Okay, let me pick. Where's my favorite? So we'll try a couple of these because they're fairly small. So we'll put a small teacup and tea party. Let's do it like so. Try to be straight. Now, will my little... Yes, that should be big enough. So I'm going to... Okay, what I'm going to do, so I don't... I'm going to do first, I'm going to get as much of that on there as I possibly can. And then I'm just going to go north so that the colors still line up. And hopefully that's going to be good. So yeah, that weather is scary. I spend a fair bit of my time watering my raised beds and my flower pots. Finally, yesterday I planted a few more perennials. Pathetic. Let's try this again. Okay, I had it this way. Pressing down a little harder, well, really hard, on this stamp pad. Like the other one was so juicy, I'm just kind of surprised that this didn't take color better. Okay, that looks like it should have. Let's just use a dry thing this time. Okay, let's see what we get. Now maybe that, I mean that was true of that other ombre stamp in that the lightest color is kind of the least effective. Let's try the blue, because the lightest blue appears darker than, and you'll notice that I didn't clean the stamp. So I guess because of the size of these stamp pads, it almost seems as though a person should stick to pretty small stamps so that you get the full effect of the ombre. So this is what the rest of the stamp set looks like. Okay, I guess that's probably not too bad. So book page is another option. Oh, see, it seems to work better. I don't know, can you see that? Seems to work better on the, trying to, what can you see here? Yeah, I think you should see that. Okay, let's get this off here and move on to the next one. I don't even know, to be honest, how much time has passed. Just trying to get a bit of the excess off. Okay, so we'll put that one aside. So dictionary page. Now another thing, I think if you've watched the channel before, you may have seen me say that, and this I first saw Gail Augustinelli do, and I think she saw somebody else do it, is to create master boards in a book. So I have used oversized kids books before, you know, completed that. And then I'm using this one. Not that it matters what book it is, but okay, so we'll just randomly pick this page. So what would be a good thing to put on? Oops, I don't want to get this. I might have just mixed those two up. Forgive me. Let me, since I have these library ones, maybe I'll try that one. Okay, so this is what the stamps look like. So you can see that they're landscape, portrait, feather, glasses, open books, and ink, well, you know, lots. That, I believe, is the number. So let us pick, maybe let's pick this one. Again, I'll use this stamp with a handle. I guess I should try to make it look level. And, okay, based on these colors, I do have one StazOn ink. Oh, and I would also say for those of you who are maybe just really at the beginner point, these inks are permanent and they're waterproof. So if you stamp something, as we've been stamping here, and then go in with some wet medium or even glue or whatever, the color will stay put. Now, the whole line of these, ugh, I can't get it out of there. These distress oxides and distress inks do move when they're wet. So, you know, think about what your ultimate intention is, what technique you're employing. Excuse me. The reason I only have one StazOn, and again, I don't know how much of this is true. Now, mind you, this woman has had a scrapbooking store for 25 years, so you'd think, you know, she must know, he must have some product knowledge. Apparently, she said, well, she told me that StazOn is very hard on stamps. So I'd almost have to believe her, I guess. And I think that the thing would be to, you know, try to clean it immediately after. Okay, so because this lady is wearing a mauve dress, I picked, what is it called? Royal Purple as the stamp. And you can see that at some point I did do some scripty stamp here. But this is going to be more like a focal point. So let's try it there. Geez, my hands are chapped. I should have put hand lotion on. Okay. The center of that stamp did not work very well. So maybe what I should be doing is I'm going to add a piece of this foam underneath and see if that makes a difference. Okay, let's try right here. Is that where my pad is? Yes, it is. And if this one works, mind you, I was going to say, if this one works better, then I'll be a believer in the padding theory. But still not great. Now, again, that could be also the fact that I'm stamping over various layers that are not all the same thickness. So it'd be kind of impossible. Well, let's do one more here just to pretend that, just to think that we did. In case I don't come back, I don't want to have to come back and get all this stuff again. Oh, do you see that? Oh, and I hope that didn't move. I had to, the padding underneath was only under half of it. Okay, that one is the best one so far. So it could be one of those things that, let's do it one more time, and then we'll call this page not done, but at least we know that we've got enough book images on there. I did also talk about bleeding off the edge of the page. Got a light corner here, so maybe we want to do that. And if you haven't heard the term masterboard before, it's basically a collage that is done typically on a piece of paper, on some base. So it could be scrapbooking paper, it could be copy paper, it could be, wallpaper, whatever, brown paper. And it involves, yeah, that's pretty good. It involves, a variety of images, and then this page could either become a journal cover, or it could be cut into tags and pockets and journaling cards and so on. Sorry, indulge me one more second while I do another one at the bottom. Mine, whoops, kind of slopped that. Mine tend to have a color, I'll show you a couple more. They tend to have sort of a color relationship. So let's put this padding in, and let's have this bleed, or let's cover these grapes up a bit. Oh, I could have picked another stamp out of this set also. Yes, it seems to be getting better with use. Just stamp off anything that might still be on there. Okay, I'm putting that one back. And because this has so many pieces to it, maybe I'll pick a second one. This is where it would be nice to have like a color similar to what I have here that might work. Well, maybe I'll go back to my night sky. It will pick up a bit, and I'll just do a couple of these because I know I'm probably challenging your patience. Okay. I think that might have been crooked. Anyway, in these pressing down times, oh, see, that's nice. Yes, these maybe become, sorry, have to do 2 more. These may become new favorite stamps. Goodness knows we have a book theme going. Yes. Okay, this is really the last one. Let's put this here. How are we doing for time? Ooh, we're at the hour mark, and I haven't shown you everything. Okay, I won't bother talking. Whoa, maybe I shouldn't close that. I won't, what am I trying to say? I won't show you masterboard because we have to move along here. Okay, so that, and maybe I don't need to try all of these in front of you. Here's another library one. An open book. You know, variety of different. Maybe I should. I have this sort of a block too. Since these are, and this is the number. I think it was 240. It looks like I wrote 245 there. So again, can't buy coffee for that price. So let's do a little row of these, and I'll show you. This has okay, I just need to get this to a point where I can see it. It does have a line, so I'm going to line. I'm going to put several on here. That looks straight. Let's put a little quill here. And what have I got room for there? Maybe this style of open book. Okay, so I'll ink this up. What is my next? Oh, I just wanted to show you. I was trying out a stamp that I had. This was like a bank stamp or a deposit only stamp that I had. No, a bank stamp. So I tried that out in a previous, I guess, a thrift haul video. This was on shelf liner, and you can see that I had stamped on there. So what do I want to try next? Oh, I wanted to, okay, this is a digital. This is one of mine that's a jelly. And guess what? I'm going to reach for night sky. So that's another thing you can stamp on, are digitals. Oh, I don't like that when it goes. That's probably me being careless as I'm doing this. So gently touch just the surface. This is going to be so cool. I can tell already. Hopefully it stamps well. Okay, so digitals is another thing you can stamp on, obviously. And you have the built-in background color. Oh, I think I laid this down crooked. But it doesn't matter because chances are, oh, see, if I would have, well, whatever. I can show you this way that you can get multiple images all at once. I can tear around them. Or, well, probably not punch them out because they're kind of odd shapes, but oh, look how nice. I love that. Cool. Okay, so that's on a digital. But what I was thinking afterwards as I was laying it down is that I could have done it like I did those birds, you know, off in one corner, so that when the page is folded, it will, you know, you end up with the sort of the complete design, almost like a footer on your page. Love that. And I'm sure the others will be equally as good. And because, oh, let me just show you, because they have all these darkened areas, I think it'll be, you know, sort of, you can very clearly see that it is, it's going to show up. Now this is parchment paper. So let's try, okay, this one I really hope is good, because look at all those clocks and, oh no, they're all pocket watches. They're all pocket watches. And some little words. $1.65. Whoops, upside down again. $1.69. Okie dokie. So, okay, this is parchment paper. So I'll use this again. Also have this one that is, I guess that's dried on there. Let's see, will these little guys fit on there? Now this is going to not want to stick because it's wet. Okay, let's line up a few of these little guys. Oh, and the other thing to remember is that sometimes you can do things, you can do them vertically. Like maybe you want a design at the edge of your page. Now this is almost too narrow. I could have also used this one, I guess. That one's probably not going to fit. So let's try this for a little feeling of something different. Maybe offset it a bit. I suppose let's do another bunch of these words. Let's change this positioning. Sorry, I need to try this. I hope you're still with me. This is almost like when you see those butterflies. You know which I mean, the descending in size or ascending in size. Okay, let us try sepia. Did we try sepia? So again, even though I'm trying this on a scrap of parchment paper, and of course that's just the stuff that you buy, or at least the stuff I'm using is the stuff you buy in the aisle where the let's do it against this raggedy edge, where you buy other kitchen rolls, you know, like foil and wax paper and stuff like that. And of course, you can buy it at the dollar store, so it's as cheap as borscht. Oh, that's not so good, people. Let's try re-inking. So you can see that it also, I mean, you saw with your own eyes that sometimes how effective something is will depend on the ink, the complexity of the design. I don't know, should I? What have I got to lose? If I aim for that new word news, maybe everything else will fall into place. Now, am I convinced that if I tried night sky, it would probably work? Probably. What is this one? Oh, that's my jet black. That wasn't very good. Oh, see, much better. So it's the nature of the paper, too. Much better on here. Okay. Let us, just because we like to torture ourselves, I'm going back to this one, night sky. So it's going to, you know, the parchment paper has that sort of, you know, it's a non-stick kind of thing. Just for the heck of it, let's turn it over, see if there's sort of a right side and a wrong side to this. And, you know, again, am I applying equal pressure to every single stamp when there are multiple stamps? It could be operator error. Okay, that, I mean, this would be fine, you know, in the right application as sort of a backgroundy kind of thing. Much better, you see. Let me slide this over a smidge. So again, substrate matters. Okay, sorry guys, I will try to speed up a bit here. But obviously a lot to work with in this one, and I really like those, even though, you know, the particular surface I tried wasn't the greatest. You can see that it will be a good stamp. Okay, we're almost getting to the end, but I need to show you some more surfaces. So I was going to show you book page, but obviously we've tried that on dictionary, so that's, you know that. I think you might have seen me stamp on ledger paper. It has a really good look to it, so maybe I'll do a couple. Oh, maybe I'll do a couple of those. I also brought out some doily pieces, so I do want to try that. Hopefully you hang in there with me on that one. I would say, is this what I just tried? Yes, so we're not going to do that again. This is just another digital. This, of course, is a piece of, this was something that a guy had used in his, this had been stapled into his ledger. So there are a couple more things I want to try for sure. So let's do this in some kind of sequence here. Okay, this is matte photo paper, and this is the side. So let us. Okay, this one is a. Well, it's got French on there. Look at there, those butterflies, a tape, a mannequin, or I think those are called Judy's, and some words. So this is sort of a sewing thing. And there is no number. So let us try, what are we going to do here? Maybe I'll try one of the small ones, because all we need to really see is how well does it work. Maybe I'll be artsy-fartsy here and add a second little stamp. So it looks like we have something happening here. We didn't, oh yes, we did try all the ombre stamps. So we saw the pink, we saw the gray, and we saw the blue. So okay, you've seen all that, so we don't need to worry about that. Hey, why don't I use this one? It should just about be big enough. Sorry, I don't want to be off camera, but I also don't want to. Let me do it like that. Again, very juicy. This may, I hope this doesn't ruin this paper, but again, it's only paper. See it on paper, like on regular paper. I don't know why that was so. Maybe I pressed down and loaded it a little too much. And I think because there's a bit of slick coating on this paper that I'm going to just let that dry. So I'll put that one there. By the way, this one has dried in all, since we've been here for 3 days now. Let us, since I have this here, let's switch to maybe mulberry. Oh, I thought I had I thought I had a red, like a candy, or maybe that's a distress color. Oh, that should be nice. Okay, so which side? Oh, we can't do it there. So this will show you, you know, used ledger paper. Nice. And of course, this paper that I'm stamping on will also be usable after the fact. Okay, let's put this mannequin back here. Now, I'll go back to, where is it? This little skinny guy. And I'm going to line up several of these small stamps. So sometimes, you know, if you can't afford, but these are, you know, they're really affordable. If you don't have many stamps, and just end up, like even I noticed the Dollar Tree has a few now. You know, if you end up with a few stamps like that, another thing that a person should definitely be stamping on are strips of paper. So this is a vintage book page. You know, it feels like it's maybe 100 years old or so. This is some cardstock that I printed a digital on, and I wasn't about to throw that away. Do I have any other strips here? Here's another book page, but again, same sort of scenario. So you could actually stamp so that you incorporate, you know, a page number and a, you know, a title or whatever. Maybe I should also, no number on this one either. This is sort of a masculine feel one. So let's use this little, just to kind of get on with this video. This, no, let's try the alarm clock. And at this point, I don't really care that some are vertical, some are horizontal, because when I do these strips, the intention is to tear them into smaller pieces. I don't know, did we use fern green? We may have. So again, now I should slide this one over probably. You want enough distance between them so that you can tear and have a nice torn edge on both sides of the stamp. Let's do this one first. Oh, you know, one thing I forgot to assemble here, but trust me on it, even if I don't demonstrate it, is fabric. And the typical thing would be like, you know, cotton, muslin, coffee dyed, or light color, napkin. Oh, that's nice. Love it. Okay. So we know that these, you know, wine bottle, clock, violin, pipe. Is that a ship? Little jalopy. These tiny ones. Let's just do another one while I'm talking. Look like they're going to work very well. And this time I'll stamp it on this one where there are some trying to sort of, maybe this way is better. Trying to get that number in. And ooh, that's close to the edge. I'm so busy worrying about the horizontal spacing that I didn't look at the vertical spacing. Cool. Okay. Oh, let's just quickly, let's try this label on there. Ugh. And this, oh, I'm going to try to stays on this. This is the center of a doily. Again, these probably won't touch, but okay. I hope you have found this useful. I think there's just, okay, this is probably from No, this is manila tag. I was going to say probably from a file folder, but as you can imagine, a file folder is going to work just fine. That's nice. And that little crease kind of adds to it. Cool. This is too big. Let's try... I'm just going to add... Hopefully I can just ink the one I want. So that's just a scrap of cardstock. Might not be that effective, but then again, you never know till you try. Oh, nice. Okay. Now, if you watched the video the other day, you know that I did some color transfer onto tissue paper. So maybe this will, let me just look through my pile of stuff here. We're going to call this the last, well, second last thing. Okay. Maybe just for contrast's sake, we'll use this one again. Stays on royal purple on tissue. Now it's going to obviously give a bit of a blurry, you know, finish because it is not perfectly flat. That is my prediction. Oh, and there's one more to show you. That's pretty cool. That worked better than I thought it would. So that's tissue, crumpled tissue. I will worry about taking those off later. This is the last one. This one cost $2.37. There is the number, and it is the cutest little houses. Now this is a Christmas one, but I don't care. I don't have to use those. I want to make a street. And you know, houses are really close together, so I should be able to butt these guys up. Oh, this might be too tall. I might have to switch to a... Yeah, I need a bigger block. Sorry about that, guys. I'm trying, oh, between the lines of that, my background paper here. Am I not going to be able to get 4 houses on this street? What the heck? I'll get this one as close to the edge as possible. I'll move this one over. Okay, good. I can get 4 houses. This street has 4 houses. Whoa. Boy. Their foundations are touching. Cool, 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 cool. Okay, this is some eco-dyed paper. Or maybe I'll pick kind of a lighter part of it. You know what I'm going to choose. Oh my goodness. Look at those tiny little bricks and those pickets in the fence. Oh, mulberry might have been a better choice on this colored paper. But anyway, it is what it is. I sure hope this one works well because it is cute beyond words. Okay, so what else is on here? There's some trees. Well, we don't want that Volkswagen because it has a tree on it. Oh, here's some spruce trees. A light post. Mind you, it has a wreath on it, but we could pretend that's a summer wreath. So why did this not? Anyway, that is darn cool. Oh, I love it. Oh, there's snow on this guy's roof. Just absolutely love it. Anyway, okay, we've been here for 3 days now, so I hope that you have seen, number one, a variety of substrates that you can stamp on, that you have maybe seen some stamp kits that you feel that you can't live without, and trust me, I'm not on commission, so I'm saying that sort of facetiously. And maybe are intrigued by the idea of, where did I put them? Oh, right here. The ombre effects that you can get. And knowing that no matter how itty-bitty a piece of paper is, you can stamp on it and use it in some way. Depending on the type of surface you're using, you're going to get different results. You saw that some stamps need to kind of be worked in. You know, they need to be inked several times before they operate at their optimum. And I love it. What can I say? So I will be using these pieces. And again, there are millions of them. When I do the Temu, unboxing. So by doing this today, I've kind of already done my homework for that video and those so anyway, thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.